Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Friday. Reading the Red, Matthew 5, chapter 23. Jesus having given some scrutinisation with regards to what it means to not commit murder, and his perspective regarding it goes on to say in 23, therefore, as his were, therefore, if you are presenting your offerings at the altar, and there remember that your brother has something against you. So, having recognised that murder goes much deeper and starts further back down the line, Jesus then says to the disciples, if you are presenting your offering, here he goes, therefore, if you are presenting your offering. Now that word therefore means this. It means, as my old minister used to say, if you see a therefore, you have to ask what it's there for. And so Jesus is saying, in the light of what I'm saying to you, so if you found yourself caught up in any of these patterns of life, if you've been involved in thinking bad about your neighbour, your friend, if you've been speaking bad about your neighbour, your friend, if you've been talking, then if you've been acting, then therefore, so in the light of what doing these things, therefore, if you're presenting your offering, verse 23, if you're presenting your offering, and your offering is what you give to God. And an offering can be seen in so many different ways. It can be a gift, but more likely it's the offering of our hearts, because we're going to the altar. And the altar is the place where we connect to God. So that's why the temple was so important, because it was a place where people could go to in order to connect to God. So Jesus says, therefore, in the light of this, if you found yourself in one of these dark holes and you're on your way and you get yourself to the altar and then you remember. So therefore, if you remember and you're at the altar and you're going to give an offering to God, before you do it, before you get involved in saying how good God is, or giving God a gift, or in their case offering an animal as a cleansing of an issue, he says, therefore, when you're presenting your offering, so you're actually presenting your offering at the altar, and there you remember. Oh, that thing, remember. The reality of remembering. One of the problems of holding grudges, one of the problems of harbouring sin, one of the problems of issues of life is that it always comes back to us. We find ourselves, when we don't want to, we find ourselves thinking about it because it's poisoning us. And when we're in a situation whereby we know that there's some issue, some broken relationship, some contention somewhere, as soon as we get into the presence of holiness, and we'll find this as Christians, when we're in a worship environment and we know there's something wrong in our hearts towards someone, and the first thing that will come to our minds is the wrong that we feel towards that person. And then we'll be thanking God, and then the enemy will be saying to us, how can you thank God and think like that about your brother? And there'll be all these poisons and toxins going on inside. Jesus is saying, when you get to the place where you remember that you have something issue against your brother, then deal with it. And the reality of dealing with it comes in all sorts of ways. But our time is gone, so have a great Friday, and I'll see you on Monday morning. Bless you.